A stage for history's grandest dramas and most delicate negotiations, the Palace of Versailles stands as a monument to French power and artistry. Once the seat of kings, it still welcomes world leaders and even hosted the Olympics in 2024. This is the legendary estate, yet it started small. In 1623, Louis XIII built a simple hunting lodge here, west of Paris, on what the court called a wooded wetland, a modest retreat that his own courtiers found rather unimpressive. But his son, Louis XIV, had bigger plans for this quiet spot. The real spark ignites in 1661. Louis XIV attends a lavish party at Vaux-le-Vicomte, the estate of his finance minister, Nicolas Fouquet. The palace and gardens are breathtaking, a show of wealth and artistic talent. Inspired, Louis XIV hires its creators, architect Louis Lavaux, gardener André Lenaudre, and painter Charles Lebrun, to build something far more magnificent here. Louis XIV decides Versailles will be his main residence, the center of government and court. Lavaux starts with an envelope, wrapping a new stone and marble structure around three sides of Louis XIII's old brick château. Then Hardouin Mansart takes over, dramatically expanding the palace with massive wings, stables, and staff buildings. He designs the city of Versailles alongside the palace, pulling the nobility from their provincial strongholds to orbit the Sun King. The absolute crown jewel, finished in the 1680s, sits where a terrace once stood. This long gallery, the Hall of Mirrors, is lined with over 500 mirrors, opposite 17 windows, reflecting light and gardens, creating a dazzling effect. Charles Lebrun's ceiling fresco celebrates Louis XIV's early reign, featuring the king himself, notably depicting victories over the Dutch. Flanking this gallery are the salons of war and peace. Versailles isn't just a palace, it's a mechanism for court life. The state apartments, named after planets, host formal receptions and ceremonies. Imagine grand evenings here, courtiers mingling among art. The private apartments in the older part are for the king's daily rituals, like the lever, meaning waking, and the coucher, meaning sleeping. The king's bedchamber here was where Louis XIV died, and where, in 1789, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette faced the revolutionary crowd from the balcony. Outside, André Lenaudre creates the iconic French formal gardens across 800 hectares. Geometric order, sculpted trees, and elaborate fountains impose human will on nature. Transforming this wetland was a massive undertaking. It required huge earth movements and complex engineering projects just to supply enough water for the fountains. That was a constant struggle, even with ambitious schemes like the Marly Pump from the Seine. The estate includes separate palaces, retreats from the main court. Louis XIV builds the elegant Grand Trianon. Later, Louis XV adds the Petit Trianon, given to Marie Antoinette. She personalizes it, changing the gardens to the English style, and building her charming rustic village, the Queen's Hamlet. This was a place for her and her friends to escape the court's formality, complete with cottages and a dairy. The French Revolution empties Versailles. In the 1830s, King Louis-Philippe saves it, turning much of the palace into a museum of French history, creating spaces like the massive Gallery of Battles. Versailles witnesses history again. The German Empire is proclaimed here in 1871, and the Treaty of Versailles, ending World War I, is signed in the Hall of Mirrors in 1919. Now a UNESCO World Heritage Site and France's most visited monument, the Palace of Versailles continues its unique role. It hosts state visits and remains the location where the French Parliament meets to amend the Constitution. Its legacy lives on, a blend of royal history, artistic achievement, and ongoing national significance.